Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got this really large box which I'm going to be using to make my mirror. I've got this little mirror and it's only 29.5 by 23, but I want it to be a lot larger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be placing it out in the center and then adding 10 centimeters to it, and then adding 15 centimeters, which I'm going to be working on a design for the outside. So what I've got is my baking paper, and I've placed it onto the cardboard and folded it exactly on the halfway line. So I've marked it all, and now I'm just going to try and draw a design and see if I like that. I've drawn my initial design on, and now I'm going to fold the paper in half and then cut it out and see if I like it. I've cut my design out, but I'm not very happy with that, so I'm going to redo one. I've drawn a new design, and now I'm going to just cut that out and see if I like that one. It's a lot more intricate and a lot of cutting, but I really like this one, so I'll be cutting 4 of those out. I'm going to be using spray adhesive and spraying it onto my box and then cutting it out. I've got all my pieces cut out, and the sides of the shorter one are matching quite nicely, but obviously the longer side is not going to be good. So I'm just cutting out another small piece like that for both sides. On my design, I've left these pieces intact, and now I'm going to decorate them all with hot glue. Now don't get disappointed when you're decorating with the glue that it doesn't stay where you want it to stay. If you want to do it where it stays properly, I suggest you use some moulding clay. So these are the places that I'm going to be putting glue. So I'm going to define the leaves so that they go. And then I'm putting veins in them. And then I'm repeating the same on the other side. So this one would be one of the pieces that is going to be going next to this one, like that. So this one is actually the right hand side piece. So this one I'm going to be doing the same by defining the leaves. And then you do exactly the same, but in the reverse for the other side. So that's what the pieces look like when you put the glue on. So that's the left and the right, and then the centerpiece. And then just do all of them. A little tip is when you're starting your glue gun off, try and start where you've got a big blob, because it always comes out in a blob. So do your blob and then do your circles going around. Now for the small little centerpiece for the larger side, I'm doing the same thing by doing the leaves. So that would be the centerpiece. Once you finish gluing everywhere, you'll always have some little strands, little fine fibers. All you have to do is take some masking tape and it'll pull them all off. So that's the way you just clean, so you don't have all the little like spider webs all over them. So just clean them all up now. I'm going to be starting into these beautiful acrylic roses, and they come in 4 different sizes, and I'm going to be using this one. Has got a flat back on it, this one has got a round back on it, so it makes it higher, and it's a small one that is exactly the same. So I'm going to take some of those and I'm going to be gluing them in random places, or I'm going to be gluing them on the bunches of leaves over there and over there, and then one at the base of the end piece. I've got 2 pieces of cardboard which are both 73 centimeters by 80 centimeters, and on one of them I'm going to be cutting this whole center piece out. So on the 15 centimeter mark I'm cutting everything else out. And the small pieces of cardboard that we cut out from the middle, what I'm doing is I'm measuring from the outside. I'm going in by 5 centimeters and then 3 centimeters. I've got a 2 centimeter gap there, and we're going to be cutting out. So we've got this little frame going around like that. So that's what we're keeping. Those we're getting rid of, and we're keeping that for later. On the inside edge of both my frames, I've put masking tape on just to neaten it up a bit. I've got all my pieces glued on, and now what I'm doing is I'm taking some of the large roses and I'm going to be placing them in some of the open spaces. And I've got one between, on the short side, between those 2. I'm going to be using this gold spray paint, and I'm going to spray both the pieces, so the big one on the outside and the little one on the inside. The small piece of frame that we cut out, I'm going to be spraying this small section in silver, and I'm just going to be using this super chrome. I've got this 1 centimeter thick nylon rope which I'm going to be spray painting gold. I've just glued it to a piece of cardboard so that it's nice and straight, and then we can paint that. On the 3rd piece of cardboard that we spray painted the silver on it, I'm putting the hangers in. So from the top down, I'm going down by 26 centimeters and 27 centimeters, and from the side I'm going in by 6 centimeters, and doing that on both sides. I'm using a 2 litre soft drink bottle, and I'm just cutting some little squares out from that. And the small pieces of plastic, I've got 4 of them. I'm placing them over the place where I have marked, and I'm taking my soldering iron and I'm just going to be poking holes through there. And then do that on both sides. I'm going to be gluing them down with hot glue. When you use hot glue though, make sure that you glue on the cardboard and then place that plastic down, otherwise the plastic will melt. And then I'm taking some really thick masking tape and going to tape the whole thing down. And I'm doing that on the front and the back and on both sides. I'm using this 1.57 diameter galvanized tie wire to hang the mirror. When you're doing the back, thread a piece of wire through the back so that you can get these ones to line up exactly in place. Now, once you've got your wire through, secure it in place to the height that you actually want it, and then just tie that off. I'm just taking some tape and neatening all the wires up so that they don't scratch the wall. And now we're ready to glue our main piece onto this cardboard. I've sprayed my piece with 2 coats of gold paint, and now I'm going to seal the gold painting with this gloss clear. I'm going to be gluing my rope on. Now you can either cut it so that it goes in nicely in the corners, but I'm actually just going to bend it around, and I'm starting in the center on the side. And I'm gluing it to the small center piece that we cut out. I've just traced around the rope and I've cut that out as well. So we've got this small little piece like that, which I'm going to be gluing in there now. I'm going to be gluing the mirror in place, and then this one will go on top of that like that. I'm gluing the mirror in with this silicone for bathroom and kitchen. I'm going to be using these rather cute little leaves with a diamond in the middle, and I'm going to be gluing it onto the little piece that we just glued in. In the corners I'm going to be reversing the pattern, so you see it makes like a little flower. So I'm going to be using that in the corners. I've got the mirror and the outer piece all glued in, and now I'm going to be using some of these crushed mirror glass, and I'm going to be gluing it all in with some PVA glue. I'm using clear PVA glue, and I put a liberal amount in there, and now I'm just going to sprinkle my crush on, and then just go all the way around the sides. I'm going to be adding some embellishments to my frame now, so I'm going to be using some of the small little roses, and I'm going to be placing those little roses just on the corner pieces here. So where we've done the curl, I'm putting one over there and on the other side as well, and then one in the middle like that. And then I've got some of these, they call them AB self-adhesive stickers. Even though they are self-adhesive, I'm still going to be using hot glue to glue them on, and I'm going to be placing one there, one over there, and another one over there. And then I've got these rather exquisite looking rhinestones. They're called rhinestone clusters, or they're called bling clusters. And I'm going to be taking one of the oval ones, and I'm going to place it just there. So that's the corner piece done. And then some of the other roses I'm going to be placing just on the spaces on the outside all the way around. And then I've got rose gold color bling, which I'm going to be taking and placing one on the bottom like that, and one on the top. The next one I've got is also rose color gold, these rhinestones, and I'm going to be placing them just in the middle on the side like that. So as I said, they're all self-adhesive, but I will be gluing them all on. And then I've got these rhinestones, which I'm going to be gluing onto the rope. So those are the few embellishments that I'm going to be placing, and the other ones that I'm going to be putting on are these ones, once again the rhinestones, and I'm placing it just there. I'm going to be taking some of the gold rope that we spray painted, and I'm going to be gluing it all the way around the sides of the mirror. And then I'm going to leave that overnight to dry before I coat the crush with some more glue. Unfortunately, I left the mirror outside to dry, and because it's so hot, everything has warped and the glue has all come apart, so the whole centerpiece has slid and gone skew, and it's all set in place now, and the ropes on the side here have all pulled apart as well. So I'm going to have to modify it a little bit, and I'm going to be using bigger stones to cover the rope, and on the corners where the rope is pulled away from the sides like that, I'm going to be using one of the roses to cover the sides. And the whole thing warped completely, so I've had to put weights on it to try and straighten it. Once all those repairs are done, then I can hang it. Because my mirror melted and went all lopsided, so I've got small distance here, large distance there. I'm going to just be taking some of these rose colored gold bling, and I'm going to be gluing them all the way around the side, just so that it can look like it's not so skew. I'm going to be using these gold self-adhesive studs, or rhinestones, to place around the base on the inside lip of the mirror all the way around. I've glued all the rope around the mirror, and now I've hung it up and put it in place. And I've got all the little gems around the side as well. Pretty happy with the way it turned out, even though it has buckled and warped a wee bit. So there's my one wall completed. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.